Alright, we're with the shaping machine now, and I've put the bar in the vise. See, we turned the vise through 90 degrees. I've clocked the vise, and what we've done is we're using the pull lift here just to support the end of the bar. We've got some cardboard wrapped around it. We don't want to damage it. We spent a lot of time and effort manufacturing this bar, and we don't want to damage it. So what I've done is I've adjusted this so that the bubble is in exactly the same place as it was before. I'll just grab the camera and show you. Can you see that? It's just there, look here. Just off to one side. So that should be okay. What we'll do is I don't want to traverse this now. If we traverse it, it's going to move through an arc on this chain here, and it's going to throw this bar out. Don't want to do that at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave it where it is, and we're going to shape straight down there, and then we'll check that for square, make sure it's okay, and then we'll do the other end. Right. Well, we've just touched off. I've set the stroke length and I've set where the start point is for the stroke. It's important to remember on a shaper when you're setting this thing up, you need to make sure that you make your stroke adjustments when it's at the very end, very rear. Same with your start point, set it at the rear. This sets the stroke length. This is the lock for the ram, and that adjusts the position of the ram where it starts. So always make sure that's locked, and also that's locked as well. Right, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to have to do this manually. A lot of shapers have got an automatic feed on the head here, which is extremely useful, usually on bigger machines. I've actually seen, I've got a book by Ian Bradley about shapers, and he's got Acorn Tools, which was the British version of the Atlas shaper, and he got an Acorn Tools shaper, which is identical to the 7B shaper, the Atlas 7B, and he designed way back in the 60s into the 70s, he designed a mechanism to operate off the ram here, which would drive this. So every time this went in reverse, it would index around a little bit on the feed handle here. I don't have that facility here, so I'm going to use the Mark 1 down feed, automatic down feed, which is this, my arm. So every time this runs back, I'll put a cut on. It takes a long time, but it's the only way we can do this. It's not a problem. Right, let's get some speed going on this. We don't want it running too fast, we don't want it dancing across the floor, we want it running just nice and smooth. That's 1200 RPM on the motor. That's a bit too fast perhaps. Just slow it down a touch, 1100 or 1000. 1000 looks okay for that. Where's my cutting roller gone? Here it is. Now let's give it just a drop on the top here, and it'll run down that side with a bit of luck. There we go. Put that there where it lives. Right, what I've done as well is I've put the automatic feed traverse here into the mid position so it's 0. So if I forget what I'm doing and I engage that for whatever reason, kind of asleep, it won't feed either way, which is not what you want when you're feeding down with this. There are some shapers where you've got automatic feed on the tables lifting up and down as well. They're pretty substantial machines. We don't have that. We've got a really basic shaping machine. So let's get cracking with this. There you go. See? That's pretty nice. Just using a little shovel here to catch the screw. Obviously I can't put a bin on here. That's looking pretty good so far. If we were going to do a finishing cut on the ends, we would use a knife edge tool. this looks like. It'll clean the whole end up in one pass. The cross rails here are clamped in places while they can't move. They're all locked down. There's no means of locking the table wherever it is. Right, now, bring it all the way back. Right, just right down. Just put the file on that. Alright, many people don't like taking burrs off because it's work. I do not like burrs on equipment. You must take them off. It's really important. Cause you no end of problems. Apart from just cutting yourself. Always a sign of an amateur, that is. You don't take the burrs off. Right, let me get me square. Just there you go, that's better. That's a lot better. Right, we'll leave that at that. This is the second face or the last face end. This is the last end that we've got to do. And then we're all done on this job. Will they clean up? Have a look at what we've done. Clean that mess up on the floor as well. Some of the swap screens are a little bent here. It's a little shovel on the bottom of the bed here, but all on the floor. I don't like standing in the slope. I like keeping the floor as clean as possible. Cleaned everything up. Didn't put in our oil can for us. Right, that's the second end done now. Let's wind it back up. You just set that tool right at the caught on the corner there. It didn't catch. That's all that matters. Right. Give this a quick clean off. We'll check that. See what it's like. File the burr off at the top. Safe. Don't want to get smashed. Right. There you go. That's good enough. That'll be good enough for what it says. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Just have a look. Have a look at the end. You see there? Looks okay, doesn't it? Good enough for the end, that is. Not bad at all. Alright, I'll take that out. I'll clean everything up. And then we'll have a bit of an overview of what we've done. Alright, we've completed our test piece now. Don't forget the test piece was to prove that the metalworking planer was still capable of doing the job. It's 125 years old, and I think we have proved that it's well capable. A little bit of teething here and there, as you'd expect. It must be many, many years since it was operated last. But yeah, it can still do the job. Very useful tool. Some people would love to have a planing machine, but they just haven't got the space for one. And some people, they can, the space they've got is for maybe a lathe, a small lathe, and a drilling machine, maybe a bench grinder and a bench. And that's it, they have to make do with everything, or do everything on them, simple machines. But we're fortunate here, we can use the planer. It means we can do longer pieces. And that's the big advantage of the planing machine. You can do long parts, long components. You can also do wide components as well. Some planers have got wide beds as well as long ones, so the long parts can be done. But this one here, I'm quite happy with what it's done. This was the last machine in the workshop to get operational. And the first one was my drilling machine, the bench grinder, the lathe, shaper, power hacksaw, milling machine, my tool and cutter grinder over there on the bench, and then the planer. So I've got everything operational now, and I'm pleased with that. That allows me to start doing other jobs, not just working on the equipment in here, but other projects. So I need to see what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to be starting on the 5-inch gauge locomotives soon. That's a London North Western Railway Super D 080 goods loco. So we'll be working on that. But we've got other projects too which will be coming up. I've got some tooling I want to make for the tool and cutter grinder. 2 bits there. But really that's probably it. I'm ready to start getting things done now. And all the work I do in my workshop really is just for myself. I don't work commercially for people. I volunteer at the Severn Valley Railway. I'm a member of the 82045 group. You've probably seen the number above the window there, 82045. We're building a brand new steam locomotive. And occasionally what I'll do is I'll make a few studs on my lathe. Nothing special, but a few studs. usually every component on a railway locomotive is big. So, you know, you've got to look at the size of machines I've got here. But yeah, I make a few parts, just 1 or 2 studs usually. But apart from that, everything else is my own stuff. It's my own stuff. By the way, I don't get paid for making that parts either. But everything's my own. So there is a job I want to do on, or a tooling I want to make for the lathe, and that's for a tool holder to go at the rear, to allow me to position turrets in different places. But that's I'm going to use one of them bars down there. We'll machine one of the big ones. We'll machine it so it's all machined complete, and then I'll cut the piece off that I want, and I'll get it be stepped as well. So that'll be interesting. We'll probably need to use the planer shaper gauge with the step to be sure we get everything in the right place. But yeah, that's going to be coming up sometime in the near future. Anyway, I think this planer's done a good job here. Of course, the shaper's done a good job on the ends. Pretty straightforward, really. Takes a lot of time, but even that part there, you know, you still need a substantial milling machine to do that. This little milling machine here, this universal, it's only got about a 15-inch travel, so it still wouldn't have done the end. It wouldn't have done it in one pass. You would have had to have moved it, it would have looked crap. I don't know about that. I think a Bridgeport would probably cut that there. But Bridgeport's an excellent machine. If you've got the space and you can afford one, you know, and yeah, by all means, you know, it'd be a good move to get one, but not everybody can get one in the workshop. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this, so anyway, let's wait for the next project.